my bird is screaming. Come on, baby. Okay. Oh, so good. Let's be quiet. So, yeah, I was starting to have more success with music, and I started recording some of my own music. So I was kind of like a guitar player in a band, in an all-girl band actually. But I really wanted to be solo, and but I didn't have the nerve for it. I was very, very nervous. I was like terrified. But something in me was just do it, just go for it. Who cares if you're nervous? I actually heard a really good quote last night, which was how you deal with fear is forced act of courage. And I really like that. So anyway, I just did that. I kind of set out on my own and decided to be Princess Superstar. That was 1994. I made a demo tape, and I sent it only to a few labels. One of them was Grand Royal, which was the Beastie Boys label. And this guy, called me up, and he's like, are you going to have a show in New York? And I was like, oh, yeah. And I had no idea. I had no band. I had nothing. And I was like, when are you coming? And he's like, next month. And I found out when he's coming. I got a band together. I got a show together. My first show was at the Pyramid, which was actually Madonna's first club appearance as well. It's this club on Avenue A in New York. And got my shit together. Now, the guy never showed up, but I just kept going. And, yeah, the rest is history. Now I'm working on my 6th album.
Wow. So how much do you DJ and how much do you sing and what goes on there?
Well, the DJing is that kind of new development. I started DJing about 4 years ago just for fun, and that sort of took off because prior to that I was touring with my band and being, just a singer and a rapper and a front person. But the DJing was really cool because it's kind of just me, and I can go, and I don't have to wait and put together a whole tour together with my band and get in the tour bus and all that. So the DJing is kind of like a one-man show in a certain way. So I'm singing a couple of my songs, 2 to 3 songs, and then the rest is DJ. That I'm not a typical DJ because I come to it from performing. So I'm always on the microphone, and I'm always getting people excited and rapping over other songs and going a little bit crazy and trying to make it more of a show rather than just a boring DJ set.
And how is your music changing?
Well, that's a really good question because as I get more spiritual, my music is too. Prior I used to just be very silly and want to make people laugh and have some smart, crazy lyrics. And what I'm finding is as I'm growing, my music is also growing. And now when I say my music's getting more spiritual, I don't mean that it's going to become all of a sudden Om Shanti, really lame-ass literal. There's nothing I can stand more than literal New Age music. But what I'm really excited about is mixing the two. So in other words, keeping the crazy, insane energy of Princess Superstar and that funny vibe and fun stuff, but mixing it with now a deeper message. And that's what my next album's going to be. It's called The New Evolution. And I couldn't be more excited about this new marriage.
How do you balance what you want to say with your music and what you think people want to hear?
Well, I think that's just it. You have to, you kind of got to be subtle about the whole thing. I think what, the problem is with New Age messages and music and stuff like that is that it's just plain old crap. It's so boring. Nonetheless, the messages are really good. So I think it's kind of you got to be subtle about the whole thing. Make people laugh. Humor is such an important tool. And look at The Simpsons. They have political messages in there, and social commentary, and you're laughing, and you're like, oh wait, that's pretty deep, or something like that. So I'm into kind of hitting people in the head, but in a subtle way.
Mm-hmm. How did you construct the persona for Princess Superstar?
Well, when I first chose the name, it really was kind of more ironic. It was really more like, well, there were two things going on. One is like, of course, every girl wants to be princess and superstar. But then also I was like, oh God, it's like ironic, like the excesses of our society and how we're all obsessed with royalty and stardom, and even more so now. I mean, it's so pathetic, the whole tabloid thing. And so that was that. Now, what else about the persona just kind of like developed over time. It just became very, I wanted it to be this futuristic, crazy, fun, funny, never taking itself too seriously. That was very important to me, that the irony was always there.
Mm-hmm. How was Princess Superstar affected Concetta Kirschner?
Well, for one thing, when I first started, I was very shy, very nerdy in a certain way, and so it was almost through false confidence that I got real confidence. Like, I constructed this persona, and behind this persona, I could be whatever I wanted to be. I could be crazy on stage, like all my favorite performers who had just incredible stage presence, like, I don't know, Iggy Pop or somebody. And so behind this, I could actually hide. And then through doing it, I actually got the real confidence.
Mm-hmm. And how did it affect the way people treated you, Concetta, once you evolved this whole outrageous persona?
Well, I mean, certainly people have a lot of respect and I guess awe of what I do, because, I mean, not awe, that's a strong word, because I'm awesome. But people are like, wow, because, I mean, to be a white girl and be rapping and then have success in that is pretty rare, I guess. So people always gave me a lot of respect for that. And the fact that I wasn't, like, pretending to be something I wasn't in that world either. No, I was very much like, okay, this is what I'm doing, and this is my world, talking about my world, not talking about being from the hood or something like that. And so yeah, and then I moved on to DJing, and so I'm never really staying still, and I guess people like that.
How does Princess Superstar affect your dating and relationships?
Well, it's really bad. It's a real mess, actually. Because, well, let's see. Guys get really intimidated by Princess Superstar, but me, Concetta, I'm very different than this persona in a certain way. So, so I think it's quite confusing. It's quite confusing for men. I did just get out of a 2-year relationship, which is my longest, by the way. 2 years. I'm not proud of that, but I'm working on it. I'm in therapy. Yeah, I'm single, and I'm looking.
And what type of men attract you?
Well, I like Jewish men, and I like very smart and deeply compassionate and conscious men, and funny, and cute.
Have you had relationships with men who?
I'll admit something, which is that I thought you were cute.
Oh, thank you. Even with the beard?
Yeah, I love the beard.
Okay, most women hate the beard.
Really?